Better yet. Hey guys, Boney McBoneton here, and welcome back to the series, One Thing I Hate About Every Killer. Now, we got a lot of juicy topics, but before we start off, I want to say thank you so much for getting the first video 1,000 views. It was really awesome, but unfortunately, the YouTube algorithm saw that we were having success, and they were like, no, you can't fucking have that. So, our first video started off at 1,018 views, and then the second video only got 28 views. Only 28. The literal YouTube algorithm basically told me to go fuck myself. I was like, okay, your 15 minutes of limelight are up, fuck you. We're gonna basically tear this next video down. Actually, for my normal videos, 28 views is actually not bad. Oh, you know, it was my mistake. It was my mistake. I forgot to add in Elsa and Spider-Man farting and shitting all over themselves in the video. That's what I forgot. My bad, guys. Alright, enough of my whining. Let's get into the video. There really is a lot you can complain about when it comes to the Blight, and a lot of people already have. From the fact that playing against him in a chase can feel pretty extremely complicated, to the fact that, like, if he's running Lethal Pursuer, you're bound to get into a chase within the first 5 to 10 seconds of the game. But I've decided I'm going to be a very unique, special little boy, and I'm going to pick something that no one else has complained about. And honestly, I'm kind of shocked. So, Blight has this really unusual visual bug with his power, where sometimes, if you're in lethal rush with Blight, and you miss the swing during the rush, you actually... It's this weird animation, where the Blight pulls out an invisible syringe, mimes themselves injecting with it, and then tosses away nothing. Now, I know this is like such a weird thing to get hooked on, like, a weird thing to complain about, but not only has this bug existed in the game for literally 2 years on one of the most played killers in the game, whenever it happens, nobody ever brings it up. Nobody mentions it or says, oh hey, this weird glitch happened. Or oh hey, the bug happened again where, like, the Blight syringe is missing. And I feel fucking crazy because it happens. I'm like, oh, there it is. But other people, even LilithOmen himself, I actually saw one of his latest videos where he's playing against a failed bully squad. This glitch happens twice, and bro doesn't even acknowledge it.
How much beamer juice you got on that bad boy? Go on, do it again. Yeah, do it again. Oh, almost. Okay, Windows on far side, worth remembering. Let's go back to the Ripley, though. Oh, wait, have we got a bully squad? No way. Good job. Nice bags. Well, that's GG's. He wasn't programmed to hit the CJ, bro. Bro, don't, man. How many CJs have I ridden?
I feel like I'm, like, seeing this creepy-ass clown everywhere, and I'm the only one that acknowledges that's there. Because, like, I'm trying to point out to other people, and they're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that doesn't exist. That's not real. You're schizo. There was a syringe in Blight's hand, you fucking fool. Wow, the spirit. You know, for a conceptually well-designed killer, at least aesthetically, the power kind of feels ridiculous. I could go on and on about how BS it feels playing against the power, but honestly, I kind of figured out why this power feels like bullshit to me compared to other people. It's because the spirit, at least if I remember correctly, is supposed to have this important part of her kit, where if you're playing against her and she starts phasing, The phasing sound should be omnidirectional, which means that if you actually pay attention, you should be able to tell what direction she is while she is phasing. The thing, though, is that when I play against Spirit, this doesn't happen for me. I don't get this. I don't know why I don't get this, where the omnidirectional phasing just ceases to exist entirely. Like, I know it's not my headphones or my setup, because here, let me actually play this really quiet section for you to show you that the omnidirectional settings work in my headphones, and hopefully it'll translate over to this recording session. Yeah, my headphones work perfectly fine, but for some reason, when I go against this killer straight up just bends the rules and is like, actually, you can't hear where I'm coming from, and it becomes a bullshit situation where I'm just kind of doomed because, oh, what's that? I'm in a chase? Oh, well, she's gonna automatically close the distance and get my ass anyways, oh well. You know, I could talk about how Bubba's release was super scuffed and how his mere existence led to the massive up rate in just camping throughout the years in Dead by Daylight, but there is actually another quirk about his power that I just remembered that I actually really do kind of hate. And not only is his quirk really bad, but believe it or not, in a challenge video once, this tiny little quirk actually costed me an Adept achievement. Alright. You know, I could go through the lengthy process of explaining it, but luckily, I already did a pretty good job explaining this back in my Adept Leatherface video back in 2022, so I've invited Kyle from the past to perfectly explain this and show off how this stupid little bug literally costed me a game. Okay, that's a little harsh. It did cost me an achievement, though. Roll the clip! Okay, he picked up the slug. Can I beat him to the exit gate, though? Hey guys, editing Boney McBonerton from the future here. So, before we see this really messed up moment, I want to talk about a really interesting bug that Bubba has that I didn't actually know about until, like, our next game. So, for some super weird reason, if you're chasing a survivor and you're about to right-click, but the power bar only has a certain percentage left, like, behind the number bar right there, for some amazing, fantastic reason, the game won't register that you actually right-clicked to continue the chainsaw run, which is super fucking frustrating, as you're about to see in, like, 20 minutes. So, before we continue this, just a quick little warning. Lower your volume. Oh, I pressed right! I pressed right click! What the fuck? Why? I pressed right click! I would have had him! Fuck this mouse, dude! Singularity? Honestly, peak design. Whether it be the aesthetics, the really fun and engaging power, the crazy lore, or just how insanely original this character is. Like, for real, Behavior could have easily just been like, oh, yeah, he's a crazy scientist who became, like, part machine. Blah, 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 blah. But no, they took it the other way around and took a machine that became, like, schizophrenic through alien artifacts and wanted to become a singularity through the meldation of human flesh. This is an awesome killer. When I first saw this killer's name pop up on the wheel, I genuinely struggled for a while to come up with anything to complain about. Like, you know you did a good job with design when a whiny little bitch like me is genuinely struggling to find anything to complain about when it comes to this killer? But there is technically one thing that does bother me, and it's really, really minute, and it's really stupid, and you guys are more than free to roast me in the comments. So if you don't know, the Singularity got released for the Year 7 Anniversary chapter, and before that, we had the Anniversary chapter Year 6 for the Dredge. Now, this is the Dredge's weapon. It's basically like it's hard to tell what it is from like a first-person point, because it's all wiggly and shit, but from other players' perspectives, it's a large, rigid blade. And I'm thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. And then the next anniversary, we got a killer whose weapon is also a large, rigid blade. That's almost exactly the same shape. Like, I know it's like a dumb thing to get hung up on, but I couldn't help but think to myself, wow. So you guys really just, almost recycled the weapon from last year's anniversary. I mean, to give them credit, if you take a look in the artwork for the beta designs of the Singularity, he has 2 of these claws, but I don't know why they just sent it to just 1. That's so weird.